Hey guys, and welcome to How Do I Wedding. I'm Elaina, your guide down the aisle, and this is part 2 of Bridal Expos. So first we're going to talk about who. Now, again, there are no hard and fast rules about this. These are just some suggestions that over my years of going to Bridal Expos, working in Bridal Expos, and seeing Bridal Expos, that I've kind of gleaned over the years. My first recommendation is less is more. Sometimes, especially at bigger Bridal Expos, it can get crazy and it's easy to get lost or just overwhelmed by the sea of people. And so what I recommend is bringing along 2 or 3, maybe even just 1 or 2 people with you. That way, when you're making your hand-holding train through the sea of vendors and brides, it'll be fun and not so stressful. If you plan on going to multiple expos, consider bringing different people. Maybe bringing your future mother-in-law to one and maybe your maid of honor to another. It's a great way to get new perspectives, especially when it comes to wedding inspiration and vibes that you're getting. So of course, consider bringing your squad with free samples, a cash bar, and fashion show. This is great bonding time for you. And of course, consider bringing your partner if they're interested to a bridal expo. This is their wedding too, after all, and it's a great way to see what their style is and what they're attracted to in terms of what they want for your wedding day as well. Now we're going to touch a little bit on what to bring. So my biggest recommendation: labels. You might remember when we were talking to our bride Tamiko in an earlier episode of How Do I Wedding, that was her lifesaver. So as you can probably imagine, we have maybe over 200 brides or more or less, depending on the show you go to, what kinds of shows you go to, your local area, and what more. What more is not a word. So what do you put on a wedding label? So first, your name, your wedding date. If you have your wedding venue picked out, slap that on there too. Some vendors have travel fees that they might have to put into your quote. Some vendors have worked in a venue before, and it's a great thing to know because they know kind of the ins and outs of how an event works at that specific venue. And also be sure to put your phone number and a good email address for your wedding. A lot of couples actually have an entire email or Gmail account or email address dedicated to just their wedding day, especially at a bridal expo, you're giving your email away to a lot of people, and sometimes it can get a little overwhelming to have multiple vendors reaching out to you at one time, so it's nice to have all of that in one place. Lastly, be sure to bring some cash or a checkbook with you. If you have a cash bar at your bridal expo, it's a great way to just have cash on hand. Some of them do accept cards, and also your checkbook in case you do find a vendor that you love or that you've met before and you love again, and you want to go ahead and put down your deposit. But be sure to read the deposit and refund contracts before you sign anything or write a check for anybody. So here are just some extra tips and tricks for bridal expos. There might be a long line, so get there early. I recommend getting there at least 30 minutes to an hour beforehand. I know that seems crazy, but the lines do move quickly a lot of times, but they can get pretty long. Also, collect any information that you see that even just catches your eye. Take it all home with you and then look it over in the peace and quiet of your home. If you can't go to a particular expo, but you are still interested in meeting vendors or finding information, send somebody in your place to register for prizes. You can still win prizes even if you're not there if somebody else registers in your name. And lastly, of course, be sure to have fun. If you do attend a Showbride Expo, be sure to come and say hi. I'd love to meet you, love to take a picture with you, and who knows, maybe you'll be featured on a new episode of How Do I Wedding. Tune in next week. We are going to be sitting down with the founder and CEO of a bridal expo company in Southeastern Virginia, Showbride. Showbride's Emer Lunison. So be sure, as always, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in Thursdays, and I will see you next time on How Do I Wedding.